You hear that ambient noise? We're in the new Minecraft snapshot for 1.16, and they've added some real spooky ambient nether sounds. Obviously, they've already changed up a bunch of the block. Yeah, there we go. They've changed up already a bunch of the block, place, and destroy sounds, but now it just gets to creep you out a little bit more. I rarely play with the volume turned way up because I kind of have to hear myself talk and think, and it has to not be too imbalanced with my microphone, but it's cool to just kind of sit there and listen to it. Haven't just sat down and played the game with crazy high volume in a while. Anyway, that's one of the changes with this snapshot. Let's turn it back down a little bit and get into some of the other new additions and changes. We'll start off with a continuation of one of last week's new features having to do with hoes, but mostly the netherite hoe going from being completely useless to the most useful item in the game, obviously. So, as of last week, we were able to break the wart blocks, whether nether or crimson, much more quickly using the hoe. It's totally made for this. It's amazing. And I showed that you can apply things like efficiency to it using a book inside. There's more ambient noise. God, it's so creepy. Using the anvil. But I showed that inside of the enchantment table, it was still all just unbreaking all the way through. Now that's been changed. So you'll see here that we have Unbreaking 1, Silk Touch, Efficiency 4, all as possibilities here. And if I go into Creative so that I have the levels, I can pull out an Efficiency 4 and Unbreaking 3 here off the level 30. And then I can also apply Silk Touch independently if I want to do that. There seems to be a bug where you can't rename items. I'm sure that'll be fixed next time. But there we go. So now we have an almost maxed out netherite hoe. How extremely useful. And not only can it break the wart blocks now pretty quickly, but also hay seems to be within the wheelhouse of hoes, which is brilliant, and just too little too late, because yesterday, or spoiler, I was breaking hay in a recording I was doing for the Nether Survival yesterday. That'll be episode 2, but I recorded that before the snapshot was out. Had I known, I would have made a hoe. I would have been able to break that hay real quickly. So that's very useful, because previously you just use your fist and you'd be like, wow, this takes way too long. So netherite hoe, officially the most useful item in the game. Another new nether-related block thing, kind of just, making all the overworld equivalents, is if you take the crimson stems or the warped stems, now you can do the same 2x2 crafting recipe, and they're called Hi-Fey when it has the 4-sided bark. I don't know what that word stems from, but it's a thing. So there you go. And you can also turn it into 4-sided strip logs if you want to do that. It all works the same. Again, just overworld equivalence, I think, is the whole idea here. Isn't that cool, Mr. Enderman? Next up, we have... Okay, so it says in the changelog, updates to the textures of netherite tools. Maybe it's just like a little more purpley over here. It's such a minor difference. When I saw that in the changelog, I was like, oh my god, are they going to infuse the light blue diamond into the netherite tools? Is it going to look super awesome? And not that it looks bad, it's just different than what I expected, and I'm still holding out, hoping that we're going to get some like blue diamond infusion or something to kind of, like look at this. Look at that. Isn't that blue infusion cool there? It's like I've infused diamond into bark, and it's pretty freaking cool. Okay, anyway, couple changes with item frames, or additions to item frames, that you need to use commands in order to run, but it's really cool, and it's useful for displays, things like adventure maps, previous things that you'd have to do with armor stands, but now you can just kind of do it with an item frame, which is cool. So there's this new data tag called invisible, and if you set it to 1B, in this whole long string, I'm sure there are multiple ways to do this, but you /execute at an item frame, and then you do a thing over here where you set the invisible data tag to 1B. It makes all the item frames in the proximity of this command block invisible. And it's also really cool because it doesn't just leave the items floating. If I switch it back, so 1A will make them visible again. So if I run that command, you'll notice they actually pop forward a bit. right? So it hugs them into whatever the block is so that they look like they are actually there on that block rather than kind of floating off. I'll do it one more time. So they kind of attach to the wall, which is really cool. And you can still, flip them around and grab them off the wall, or if you're in creative mode, simply delete the item because why not? Wasn't the goal there, but you get the idea. They're still interactable. But say you don't want to interact with them. Say you want them to remain fixed on the wall if it's an adventure map and you just want them for display. Well, good thing there's the fixed data tag now that you can do. If you put it to 1B, it enables it. So I'll enable it there. And now what happens is I can break the block. Didn't actually mean to do that. And maybe I can put it back if I just click right there. But you aren't able to actually break the item frame or remove the item from it. You can still spin it around in place and do all that stuff. But great for adventure maps where you just want things on display and you don't want people to be able to break or mess them up. And again, if you switch it back to 1A, enable that, then you can break it again and get rid of your netherite tools, because I don't know why you'd want to do that, but good for creative mode. Anyway, next up, perhaps the most significant update for this snapshot, because I think it creates opportunities in the future where there's gonna be more than just netherite, potentially. God, I hope so, because it'd be strange for the smithing table to just have one purpose. So, we got our diamond sword here, we got our gold ingot, we got our netherite scraps. Netherite, still made the exact same way as before. 4 gold, 4 netherite scraps, you get a netherite ingot, except now, what's going on? It's not turning into a netherite sword when it was previously. That's weird. Well, you can right-click on a smithing table now. Isn't that cool? It's got a function. It only took a little bit of time, but it's got a function. And we put the sword here, put the netherite there, upgrade, and now we have a netherite sword. Now, I want this to mean that you're able to put, I don't know if it'll just be diamond or if there will be other tools, but you'll be able to put other upgradable elements in there. Maybe not necessarily in 1.16, but maybe in future versions, there's going to be an overworld thing that surpasses diamond that we can do. And there will be like benefits, just like netherite, it can't burn in lava. There will be some benefit to the overworld thing, and we'll get special types of weapons and armor. And I hope that's what it means, because it would be a shame for the smithing table to only be used for one thing and not have options as time goes by. So I'm excited for that one. That should be cool in the future, but that's pretty much it. There are a few other minor changes and more technical ones when it comes to the snapshot, so feel free to check out that changelog if you're interested. But for now, that's mostly it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Make sure to like if you liked. Check out the playlist if you want to catch more Minecraft update stuff. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And that'll pretty much be it. Tune in to the Nether Survival series, because I'll keep using the new snapshots as they're released up to the full 1.16. All right, see you later.